Hey folks, one of the most common questions I get out there is what paint should I buy? What paint should I use? What's the best paint out there? And I'm here to tell you a little bit about what the paints that I use are, why I use them, and tell you that before you get into this hobby and say, I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby and buy folk art or I'm going to buy paint at Walmart, let me tell you something. The cheap paint that you buy there, while it may give you a color that you're looking for, the grains of the pigment in it are very, very big. And because they're very big, you can't airbrush with them. You're only going to be able to brush with them. And you're going to have terrible tide marks. You're going to hate your results. So let me just save you that headache right now. What you want to do is get either AK, Citadel, Ammo, Pro Acryl. Those are the brands you want. Those are the brands that I use. Vallejo, I should mention Vallejo. I don't know why I didn't grab one of those pieces and put it down here. Vallejo as well is a great piece. And let me tell you why. AK's third gen acrylics. These are an acrylic paint. They're very, very good at brush painting, and they can be thinned down and airbrushed, though I do have issues with them clogging my needles often. So take that for what it's worth. They're really, really great for brush painting, though. And again, they can be used for airbrush, but they can be a bit of a learning curve to using it in airbrush. These Citadel paints, I will say, I do not use Citadel base paints. I only use Citadel contrast and shades, and I specifically use them through an airbrush if I can. I very rarely use them for brushing, but you can brush paint with contrast paints, and they work very well. The trick with these is that they are translucent paints, just like even Vallejo makes transparent paints. What they do is they basically stain whatever's underneath it. So you want to make sure that you have a good pre-shade base, whether that's a zenithal highlight or, as I've shown in many of my videos, a colored pre-shading works really well with these. I already mentioned Vallejo's. Vallejo paints are great for brush painting. I don't recommend Vallejo for airbrush painting. Even their skin tone sets and stuff like that, while they're nice, they struggle with the same thing the AKs do. They're very thick, and they can be very difficult to thin down enough to make it flow through an airbrush. It's not impossible. You can do it. And I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying it's more difficult than what I'm about to tell you about, which is these Ammo by Atom paints. Atom by Ammo paints. These paints are by far my favorite for airbrushing and brushing. They flow smoothly off a brush. They flow as smooth as silk out of an airbrush because they spray like lacquers, but they are an acrylic. So by far, these are my favorite that I use every day. The Pro Acryls are very nice for brush painting. I don't recommend them for airbrush. They're very expensive, but they do flow really nice off of a brush. And then we can talk about lacquers if you want to in another video, but lacquer paints like this AK Real Colors, totally different beast. So that's what I have and what I use every single day.